So with the advent of all these AI tools and the improvement of these models every month, I'm finding it hard to basically jump between all these different projects. Like I have a ton of different side projects that I try to like work on. Like I have my game, I have my personal website, I got Agentic Jumpstart, I have this other application I've been trying to work out, and then also the video crafter that I worked on a while back. And at some point, there's just too many projects and you have to keep switching back and forth of VS Code and having a bunch of different Claude Code instances and IDEs open. And it's just kind of a hard thing to manage. I might be like a unique case where I'm like working on too many things at once probably. But one thing that I decided to do is let's build out yet another project so that I can manage all my projects a little bit easier. So what I'm working on is something called an Automaker, where basically you can hook it into any of your existing projects, and it's a wrapper above Claude Code. The last video I made, I talked about the autonomous agent that Claude Code basically released for us to kind of play around with. This one takes those ideas and I'm just basically just putting them on steroids, where I have the ability to kick off multiple cards at the same time. I have an auto mode where I can run this basically when I go out shopping or when I go to bed. I can just load up the backlog with a bunch of tasks, and then I could say turn on auto mode, and you'll see this basically run nonstop. Now, if you were to go and look at that Claude Code autonomous agent, it uses kind of like a test-driven development approach to verify that the feature it added in is actually working. It uses Puppeteer, it loads up a browser, kind of clicks around, takes screenshots. It's very slow though. And so what I did was I added a way to have these tests use Playwright to write some tests, some end-to-end tests, to verify the functionality. And you can actually skip these if you just want to like make a small little UI change or something that you know doesn't really need a test. Like it's such a simple thing. But for the most part, if you let it do the testing, I found that it basically one-shots most of these features and I'd never have to come back and fix anything. So let me show you how this kind of works and how I've been using it. And the cool thing about this is I've been using the Automaker to build on the Automaker. So like everything you see here, these are cards that are actually going to update the Automaker itself. So for example, when I edit a card, it's showing an input for the description refactor to also show a text area. Let's go over here to edit, and now it's showing a text area. You know, let me actually add a new feature in. So I had the agent runner over here that allows you to just basically chat with Claude Code, and it's going to modify your code base, versus the Kanban board is like a project management view of your project where you can go and click and add new features in like this. But let's go to the agent runner. I'm gonna go ahead and see that there's a new button here, but you can't use a shortcut. I've been adding shortcuts to all my buttons to make it so it's super fast to code. So for example, I'm going to go here, I'm going to say agent runner. Can you please add a shortcut for starting a new session? And I'm going to skip the automated test just to kind of make this run a little bit faster. I can command enter that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just drag this in progress. And when you do that, that's a little buggy. When I do that, I can press 3 and I can see the output of the agent running. Notice I added shortcuts to like all these things, 1, 2, 3. So if I ever wanted to dive into the output of the agent, I can just quickly do that. Now, as I'm doing this, I notice that's kind of annoying that I can't press 3 again to collapse it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make a new feature. I'm going to say Kanban. Can you please refactor? So if I were to press one of the number keys on my keyboard when the output modal is open, just go ahead and auto collapse it if it was the same number that I had open. If I were to press a different number on my number key, don't actually close it again. Just skip the automate test for that one and kick that one off. I'll just go ahead and add that. So I have like a concurrency panel up here, so I can actually drag this to do like 10 at a time if I want to. The reason I added this is because I want auto mode to kind of slowly churn through your features. And so if you have a bunch of things in your backlog, you could basically just turn on auto mode. It's going to do one at a time. You'll come back in 8 hours and it basically finished all your stuff and verified them. So again, the one we're working on is add a shortcut to the new session. So let's hopefully go to agent runner, and now I have a shortcut button down here. I can press W. It doesn't do anything yet, so I think it's still working on that. All right, yeah, now it's actually working. Okay, so basically I'm using Automaker to iterate on Automaker, and I'm just shipping a bunch of features. I'm watching it update live in front of my eyes, and it's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty crazy. Now, the main reason I'm working on this is because I want to be able to basically open up a new project, which I can't press O to open one. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, like, let's go to core. Can you add a shortcut key for O to open up a new project? To click on the open new project button that's in like the logo header area. I'm going to skip the automate testing again, and now we're going to kick that one off. All right, so let's press O now, and I'm going to go back to browse folder. I'm going to open up Agentic Jumpstart, and notice that we have an Agentic Jumpstart project now. Let me switch back to Automaker, and it looks like it did clear out everything in Automaker, so that's a huge bug. I got to fix that. Now I still have Claude Code basically running over here for like these weird bugs that I can kind of kick off. There's a critical bug where I had a project open and a bunch of items in my Kanban board, so my features list was designed, aka my feature list had a bunch of items in it, and then I opened a new project and it cleared out my feature list list on the other project, can you make sure that all the code is scoped per project? So if I switch to a new project, make sure it doesn't try to recreate the Automaker directory and create the new files. It should only do that in the new project I just selected. Okay, it didn't delete the stuff in my Automaker file, so I'm not really sure what happened here. Or, you know, maybe the issue is like switching projects doesn't reload it. Maybe that's the issue. The issue could also be that just switching back to the other project isn't properly reloading the feature list, because I still see all the items in my Automaker folder. By the way, if you're curious on learning more about agentic coding and how I basically built this whole thing up in a day, like this is just a day of work of me prompting this stuff with Claude Code Opus 4.5. I have a course that teaches everything that I know about agentic coding. So if you want to go to agenticjumpstart.com, this course is live right now. If you go to course content, I have a bunch of videos. I think I have over like 11 hours of content teaching the basics of agentic coding, how to prompt, the context window, how models work, my favorite models. I have a cursor section, a Claude Code section, and the most important, in my opinion, is building out a full stack web application using my current workflow. There's a bunch of different ways people are doing agentic coding. Some people like test-driven development with SpecKit. Other people like doing BMAD. I have my own little approach that I have found very successful. And like I said, I am able to jump through all these different projects all the time. So if y'all want to learn how I do it and want to learn my workflow, go to agenticjumpstart.com and you can join the course. We also have a community and a free Discord. So if you want to actually go and chat with people who are really enthusiastic about AI, go join my Discord. I'm hoping to have more people join in and just have a lively community of people just willing to talk about agentic coding and kind of share the things they've learned along the way. And by the way, this tool, if you join the course and you send me a message on Discord, I will give you a private invite to the repo where I'm building this out. This thing is not ready for prime time yet, but I do think this tool has a lot of potential. And so I'm going to let you have it if you join the course. Anyway, while I was trying to fix that up, let's go to my actual Agentic Jumpstart project. And you'll notice that we have an Automaker directory now, and it has a app spec, and it's already been rewritten using Claude Code. It says a comprehensive online learning platform specializing in agentic AI development. It has the tech stack already kind of listed out. It has core functionality and features all basically right here. So this tool uses this app spec to basically document all the things that exist in the project. It's kind of like a Claude MD file in a sense. And then there's a coding prompt, which is used when the agents kick off. This one's actually wrong. I need to come through here and add the right coding prompt because this is not the right stuff. And then we got a feature list, which is blank. So I should be able to start prompting this tool while I have Agentic Jumpstart selected, hopefully. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to add in the ability to show a recently uploaded tag on videos that I uploaded within the past 7 days. So I'll just go ahead and say like, oh, these categories are also need to be refreshed. I'll keep that in mind. I might actually prompt Claude Code that as well. Let's go here. I'm going to paste this in. I opened up a different project and I'm noticing that all the categories of the previous project are showing up. On the actual Learn page where you can view all the segments in the course, I want you to add a badge that says new if the video is uploaded in the last 7 days. I also want you to add an ability so that a admin can check a box saying notify users when they basically submit a new segment. And that's going to email everyone who has registered or paid for the course, all the premium users, that there's been a new video uploaded. All right, so let's skip the automated testing for that. I'm going to go ahead and add that feature in. And hopefully when I kick this off, it should be in the right directory. So I'm going to just go ahead and make that in progress. And we should hopefully start seeing some edits to my Agentic Jumpstart course. It looks like it added into the feature list here on the actual Learn page. Okay, so this is my whole prompt basically. And it should be in progress now. So I can just wait around. In a little bit, we should have that feature. All right, so you can see it's going through here. It's adding a segment item change, is new segment. So it's basically modifying this project. Now the beauty of this is I can actually jump through all my projects and just start kicking off various things. So if someone gives me feedback on my course and I'm not really focusing on my course at the moment, I can just go ahead and kick off a backlog item to work on my course while I'm still trying to focus on my Automaker project. And I would say that Opus 4.5 is getting good enough where a majority of the features, it basically just one-shots them. Sometimes I do have to come through and like fix some stuff up, but for these smaller features like add a shortcut or whatever, these are things that a user is going to give you feedback on usually. The larger functions and features are usually not what users are going to ask you for. Like adding in a whole database table and a schema and all this stuff, like an API to connect to it, they're probably not going to reach out to you. They're probably going to tell you, hey, there's a small little bug there. And so now I can actually just like knock those out real quick and let those be automatically committed by my Automaker project and then move on to other more important things. All right, it looks like it's going through and doing the functionality for sending out the emails when I publish a new segment to my users. And I should hopefully be able to switch back to Automaker. And that's still basically empty, but I want to make sure that I can switch back to Agentic Jumpstart, and that Kanban board is empty now. So I definitely need to figure out why that keeps getting cleared out. I'm noticing that when I'm switching projects inside the project select dropdown, it's actually like wiping out my feature list.json file every single time. If these files already exist, like the feature list or the categories JSON or the app spec, you do not need to delete them or overwrite them. This should be a one-time process when you're opening up a new project, that it'll create the .automaker directory if it doesn't exist in all the relevant files. And if they do exist, do not try to recreate them. All right, let's go check out my app. Let's go to the platform, and we have a new button here. If you click it, you can see that it says new. Now I am curious if it's new and coming soon in Pro, like what happens. So like we do have to kind of like verify manually some stuff. New, coming soon, Pro only. I guess that's fine having all 3 tags there. So yeah, now I can actually commit this and get this to my actual course content. Now I won't commit this just yet because I do think there's some edge cases. For example, if a user were to watch the video, I want the new tag to go away. I didn't prompt it about that, but I'm gonna wait for this stuff to get fixed up because there's some critical bugs in the system. But yeah, overall, if you guys are interested in having access to this tool, again, you can buy my course. You can reach out to me on my Discord community for Agentic Jumpstart and send me a message, and I will send you a GitHub invite. Now, I would just want to say that this is pretty crazy stuff. There's a lot of people who give me bad comments, and I've been getting unsubscribed from my channel because I'm doing AI stuff, but like this is crazy stuff. I don't know what hole you guys are living in where you don't think this is amazing, but we are able to ship so much more in such a small amount of time now. One developer like myself, I can manage and maintain all these different projects and kick off tasks and be context switching with ease now because these agents are so powerful. So definitely, I highly recommend if you want to become an agent decoder like I've been doing, go check out my course. I think it's a very, very good value for you if you're a developer trying to up your game. Have a good day and happy coding.